Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about Microsoft Audience Ads and the couple different ways they actually can work. This is kind of a continuation of the previous video that I made about Microsoft / Bing Audience Ads, where I say they totally suck. For 95% of what you guys want to do and use it for, it doesn't work, okay? There's much better ways to use your small ad budget, or maybe not so small, but to use your ad budget in a more productive way that'll get you more sales than Microsoft Audience Network. However, I thought I would still do the world a service by explaining the couple instances where it really does work as per what I've seen other people doing, and then what we have also achieved with our company as well. So with that said, I will get into the reason why they don't work, and then of course, I'm sure you're curious about the two methods where they will work, because obviously knowing what doesn't work doesn't make you any money. It saves you money, but will also be able to make you money as long as you fit within the business category where it will work. And for the most part, it can work really well for a small portion of businesses, but it will make you some money for most, if not all, businesses. So I'll go through what these two methods are as well, so you could pick up some extra free profit in your business running ads through Microsoft Audience Ads and / network. So with that said, Microsoft Audience Ads are similar to running ads on Google Display Network, if you've got any experience with that. And Google Display Network meaning or being Google Ads if you have a Google Ads account, you can advertise on Google Search or on YouTube or on Gmail or on Display Network, which is websites outside of Google's properties. So Google Display Network and Microsoft Audience Ads is basically the same thing. It's just two different companies offering it, where they partner up with other websites, publishers as they call them, that run a news site or a blog that want to monetize their news site or blog traffic, and they give them code to put on their website so that ads of Microsoft and Google customers that they want to run on different websites can show up on those blogs and news sites and so forth. And then every time someone clicks on an ad on those blogs and news sites and so forth, half of it goes to the blog owner or the news site owner, and half of it goes to Google or Bing. So same model in both cases. The difference between the two, Google and Bing, is the Bing Audience Network generally converts considerably better than Google Display Network, or Microsoft Audience Ads convert considerably better than Google Display Network ads, which makes it actually kind of better just to go there in general. However, if you know anything about Google Display Network ads, they don't convert worth the hell, except for if you really narrow your targeting for most niche businesses anyway, which most businesses are niche businesses, and most people watching are niche businesses. So for all practical purposes, Google Display Network is one of the later things you want to try, and it doesn't usually work that well because there's a lot of bot clicks on these ads. There's a lot of fraud going on. If you got a blog, you can get ads put on your website and have, Filipinos clicking on your ads and then racking up fake clicks that they'll now take your ad money from you to be able to get paid, if you will. And so between the bots and the fraud clicks, where they have humans clicking on the ads or whatnot, that takes a big wet bite out of your profits, or potential profits out of running your ads on these websites itself, which Google and Microsoft happily let you do because they're still making money either way. So Google Display Network, while it can work in certain instances, it usually doesn't work for most people because they don't know what they're doing. But even when they do know what they're doing, it's only a small audience that you can target through there where it'll work. But if you do get Google Display Network to work, then Microsoft Audience Ads can work if you are not a niche business. Difference between Google Display Network and the Microsoft Audience Ads on Microsoft's so-called Audience Network is Google Display Network has much more targeting options. So the reason why I talk about Google Display Network working all the time is because they have so many ways to target a customer there, where you could drill down and drill down and drill down and find that perfect 1,000 people nationwide that are home run prospect for you to sell to. Whereas on the Microsoft Audience Network, using Microsoft Audience Ads, they don't have that same level of targeting, which makes it not basically work for most people, because they have a niche business that has certain buyers and you need to get in front of certain people for the ads to pay off and narrow down far enough so that, you know, basically you have, because every time the ad shows up that the person's not interested in your ad, that drives down your ROI, given that click-through rate is directly affecting what you're paying for a click, and you got to defy the bot clicks and the fraud clicks, which are going to eat into your profits as well. The Microsoft Audience Ads Network just doesn't have refined enough targeting to defy all those, defy those, those things going on and still have you make money and, find a niche customer so that you aren't paying for wasted ad spend to get in front of a ton of people who just don't want what you want. There's a tendency where people, when they're starting out advertising online, they think if they run a banner ad that says, unless you're a multi-millionaire and want your back scratched, don't click on this ad, and they're just going to get multi-millionaires who need their back scratched so damn bad to click on that ad. Nobody else is going to click on it. That's not how online advertising works. Again, because every time your ad's shown to somebody who's not a millionaire and doesn't need their back scratched, that costs you money. So you've got to figure out how to get in front of actual millionaires who actually need their back scratched. Say that as if, basically that your ad's showing up for everybody and you're hoping people to raise their hand and say, yes, I'm a multimillionaire and I need my back scratched. But it's a ruse because you already know that they're a multimillionaire and they need their back scratched. And so they see that and they're like, yeah, this is like, perfect that I found this ad. Or it's a destiny that I found this ad. And that's how you actually make money. So with Microsoft Audience Ads, the targeting options they have, like the in-market targeting, job title targeting and stuff like that they have there for running Microsoft Audience Ads, it doesn't work. It's not targeted enough for a niche business, okay? It's just not. You're going to pay for what they call waste circulation. You're going to have your ad show up for mostly 99.9% of people who are not the right prospect for you to show your ads to. Therefore, you'll get a better return marketing on other ad platforms where you can run more targeted ads, like on Google. That said, okay, caveat here being, if you do want to make some money with the Microsoft Audience Ads, given not very many people know about them, it's not very competitive because most people don't know how to do the basic advertising motions that, the stuff that actually works to run ads that make money, and that they can convert well if you have the right type of business, i.e. not a niche business. You could take the ad space that Microsoft Audience Ads offers and make some sales, and all of you guys can do this just through remarketing. You set up the Bing event tracking tag on your website, and then on this Microsoft Audience Ad system or network or audience network through Microsoft Audience Ads, you can have your ad show up for people who've only been to your site. And if you're selling a product, I would recommend also doing the dynamic remarketing, where you can have whatever product specifically they were looking at on your ad. That could actually extend to a service business, but for the most part you don't. And just as a quick side there, if you're running a product company and you're not remarketing to the people who get to your cart, you should, because that almost 99.9% of the time gets a good enough return to do it. And that's one easy low-hanging fruit thing that you could do. Other than that, what you should be doing is anything that you do remarketing-wise on other ad platforms, just transfer that over to Microsoft Ads Network, Audience Ads, and the Audience Network on Microsoft/Bing, and you'll make some extra sales. If you don't know how to do remarketing that works, and you haven't seen my other videos, well, all you simply do is you find the most common questions that people ask your salespeople or by email before they buy, and then you make special ads that, so-called drain those objections. If they say, well, how do I know how long it lasts? You make an ad that says, our product lasts for 15 years, and here's why. So that all the people thinking that haven't came to you and asked that question, they see it, they see that ad, they click on that ad, they go to a specialized landing page that expands on that idea. They don't no longer have that roadblock to making their purchase anymore. And then you do that for the 5 or 10 top concerns that they have. And then furthermore, half of the reason why most people don't buy from you right now that you pay to get to your site, it's because they don't trust you yet, unless you're marketing to past customers, that is. And so you put ads there that have your testimonials, your reviews, and your awards, and so forth. And you have those running so that you start getting to be trusted through the remarketing ads that you run. That's the type of stuff that always generally will bring up and it'd be profitable to you to run remarketing wise. You're not going to see a lot of people see a testimonial from you, from a past customer, and end up buying. But what it does do is it gets people who specifically have, who you paid to get to your site already, to get that initial click to your site to pay off at a higher rate. Because there's something called the power of sevens in marketing that says you'll make more money advertising to fewer people than you will advertising to more people, but only once. Because people don't take things seriously a lot of times on the first go around. So you do this follow-up to get them to take you seriously. And you spent a lot of money to get them to your site, and there's only so many people that are in market for what you're selling, and how do you get the full value out of them as you do this follow-up? You'll make twice as much money from the people that are in market for what you have and paying to get them to your site out of the finite people that are looking for your product or service at any given time using this follow-up. So just as a quick side, that's the remarketing stuff that basically works. So you can do the remarketing, everybody can do that. Now, where you guys can really make bank on this is for a certain type of business where you could say 1% or greater of the public as a whole wants to buy your product or service. So we had a tax credit service company, for instance, who could get you money back on your taxes by not knowing the tax credits that you're eligible for. They would help you find the credits and then take a piece of the so-called winnings or return that you got back from the government. This is actually in Canada. It wouldn't work in the United States or anything like that. But everybody wants free money, so advertising to everybody on the internet is totally fine. In that instance, the low cost per click and the high conversion rate you could get through Microsoft Audience Ads, because nobody gives a shit about it and normally can't monetize it because it's too broad in its targeting for all the stuff, for what I said before. It's a great place to advertise, okay? But obviously so in other words, now you know why I said it doesn't work for niche businesses, but it can work for non-niche businesses. So, and if you do have a business like that where anybody could want what you have, and I don't mean like anybody needs cleaning services, so I'll just advertise on Microsoft Audience Ads. And the reality is not everybody needs cleaning services. I don't care if you're rich or not. Some people just don't need it. So, I mean, legitimately, 1% of the people need what you have. Everybody needs to buy, everybody wants to save money on their power, let's say. If you ran one of those services where you could actually get people to change their power, who they buy their power from, to another company, this is a big thing. And you could come out and say, here's how to save money with your power bill, and get them into a sales funnel. That will work just to advertising to anybody. Of course, still in that case, it's people that have a house and are paying the bill, so it isn't really everybody, but it's enough people out of the general populace. You don't need targeting. Microsoft Audience Ads will work, okay? And that's both of those situations. We've done campaigns in that space before. And just marketing to anybody works. So what we would do, instead of just going to the normal places like Google that are saturated by people that are running niche advertising, we'll find any place we can advertise that gets the cheapest clicks. Taboola ads, third-tier audience networks that you haven't even heard of, Microsoft Audience Ads and the like, because they're the least competitive, meaning so that the cost per showing of the ad is less, which means we can get a higher return on our ads. Anyway, going back to Microsoft Audience Ads itself, if you are a non-niche business, truly, then what I recommend you do is you run these, what they call similar audiences. So if you've got a lot of traffic coming to your site already, meaning like over a couple hundred visits a day to your site, using similar audiences, instead of just marketing to literally just anybody, even though you technically could do that, I recommend starting out with marketing to people that the system thinks is similar to the people that come to your site already, because it'll get you much more results right away. A lot more results, like 10 times more leads, or leads at 10 times less cost than you would have paid if you didn't use the similar audience algorithm that Microsoft is giving you to use. So you put the remarketing tag on your site, and then you target the similar audiences, people similar to the people coming to your site already, if you have a few hundred or a few thousand people coming to your site a day. Otherwise, you don't really have enough traffic to do much of a difference. But when you do have a couple of hundred visits a day coming in and when I say a couple hundred visits, visits that are coming to your site from like Google search that are in market, because it can study all the traits of all the people that are searching for how do I switch power companies and save, look at what traits those people have, and then it'll get you in front of similar people on the Microsoft Audience Ad, using the Microsoft Audience Ads network. So you get my point there. So it works very well. Similar to that, by the way, if you have enough traffic, instead of targeting people who just went to your site in general, I would recommend people that got to a order page or a shopping cart or whatnot, and use that to do your targeting. A similar audience a similar audience to the people who got to your cart or to the order page will be more targeted. But in order to do that, instead of having 200, 300, 400 visits a day to your site, you need like 10,000 visits a day to your site. So in other words, the important thing here is machine learning and AI and all that. It feeds off of data, and the more data you have, the better the decisions the AI makes. So when you have an opportunity to have enough data, yes, it could read better and better and better, like the people that come to your site, what traits they have. There's a point of diminishing returns, and there's a point in which you'll be better off. You'll get better results from your Microsoft Audience Ads, looking at people that are similar to that have gotten farther down the sales process, i.e. got to the cart, got to the order page. And this extends further if you can do this at the customer level. If you got, instead of 10,000 visits to your site a day, you got 100,000 visits a day to your site, you could just say, look at people that have bought, if you will, or have turned into a lead already, and then just get me people like those, if you will. And certainly people that have turned into a lead, if you're just marketing like a piece of content, that might only take 5,000 visits a day to the site. But you get my point. Realistically, tying it all back to the original thing I said, you need like a couple hundred visits to whatever part of the funnel that you're looking at in order for the algorithm to have enough data to really do good matching using the similar audience algorithm and get good results out of your campaign. And if there isn't a couple hundred visits to look at per day, then you just go higher up the chain. Instead of customers, people that got to the cart. Instead of cart visitors, people who just got to the website in general. And then obviously, if you've got 10,000 or more customers already, take their email list and use that itself as the similar audience that you're going to target, if you will. Because at that amount of customers already, you don't even need traffic to your site to look at for that similar audience to work majorly to your advantage. Just look at the customers you already had. I would recommend that more. But if you don't have 10,000 customers, of course, you may have to rely on people that your second best would be somebody who's turned into a lead already and got to the cart, or then if you don't have that, then you start with people who just came to your site in general. And maybe you start with people that came to your site, then you graduate to cart visitors or leads, and then graduate to customers at an eventual point in the future. But your goal is to get, use whatever you can, because obviously the algorithm is going to be a lot better at getting you customers if they knew what a customer looks like versus somebody that comes to your site. Because somebody comes to your site, it's not going to be the same profile as somebody who actually becomes a customer. Anyway, I think you get my point. But similar audiences plus Microsoft Audience ads and the Microsoft Audience Network is where it's at. It's great if you get customers are not a certain breed, you're not running a niche business. It can be worked very, very well. So those are the two things, remarketing and then with similar audiences, and if you're in the right business where you can use Microsoft Audience ads to make a good deal of money or extra money in your business. If you like the video, you have any questions about it, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days, and I answer any questions about online ads in general as well. Even if it's not related to the topic of the video, I'd be happy to answer. And all I ask is if you could give the video a like. I really would just, really, first of all, appreciate that. But if you saw value in it, you should give the video a like, honestly. It's a fair trade as far as I'm concerned. Beyond that, though, if you do like what you've seen and think that it's going to make you some money, you should definitely subscribe to the channel, as I have tons of other content like this where I share my last 15 plus years of experience running online ads for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of companies, and what worked, and share what worked and what doesn't work. And so you can either stay away from it or do it, as I manage dozens of ad accounts on an ongoing basis for clients here at my firm. So, and all the stuff that we use here to guarantee our clients' results, I give to you here on a silver platter on this channel. So it's the best information you're going to find on YouTube and online, because most of the people you hear from, they're professional YouTubers. They're not ad strategists that actually work on ad accounts and dozens of them at a time like you're going to find elsewhere on YouTube. So therefore you should subscribe. And if you like my channel, you can find information, written content for myself, which is just as good, at my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, and on entrepreneur.com, as I have a column that I write there as well. Beyond that, if you have a need to get really great results, don't have the time or a desire to do it, go ahead and reach out to my firm at guaranteedppc.com. I'd like to hear from you what you're doing and see if there's a way we can work together. I can estimate how much sales results I can get for your campaigns up front, and with that, ultimately we'll see if we can work together. I don't work with just anybody. It's got to be the right product or service that has a lot of potential, but if you have something good that just needs the best marketing tied to it, I'd love to hear from you and see if we can work together on that kind of basis. And if you're in a niche, you don't want an ad manager, you want to manage your own campaigns, but you want good results, instead of building all that out for yourself, you should check with us and see if we've worked in your market already, because we sell campaign templates that work for certain more similar or common niches, like in the plumbing space. If you're in that space, we've already ran a campaign for years in that space. Why not just buy our templates that we have that work for your market already, copy and paste results into your account, and then get a ton of results with basically none of the work. We sell those for like a one-time charge, campaign templates, landing page templates, and then if you're looking to start another business, that's where you should start, honestly. We've got people using our templates to start new passive income businesses where they're just outsourcing the work to somebody else or selling the lead. So anyway, just some different ideas for you, which is a really good business plan to have for an idea to do a business in the first place, is to start with a working ad campaign, because a lot of businesses, that's all the value you need to bring to the market. Anyway, I'll wrap it up with that though. I'd look to hear from you. If not, I'll see you on my next video where I have another great strategy for you then to share with you as well. See you later.